Now, ladies and gentlemen, your next bout has been brought to you in association with Black Mamba. And it's to be fought over 3 5-minute rounds under professional mixed martial arts rules in the bantamweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, he enters the cage with a mixed martial arts record, 4 victories with 1 defeat, representing Taz Academy, Isaias Celiva. And his opponent, standing across the cage, fighting out of the red corner. He enters the cage with a mixed martial arts record of 3 victories, 1 defeat, representing Reps MMA, Ste the Nightmare Nightingale. Your referee in charge of the action, Mr. Neil Hall.
Referee Neil Hall about to get this one underway, and George, the atmosphere's hit fever pitch here in the Bolton Macron Stadium. Ste the Nightmare Nightingale in the black with red trim, taking on Isaias Celiva in the black with red trim also.
Yeah, no secret who the crowd are backing in this one.
Well, Celiva's teammate Paco Estevez turned up and made a huge impression here at FCC, being a hometown favourite in Sean Hampton.
Let's see if he can take that momentum forward. Hand fighting with that lead hand at the moment. Celiva's the much shorter fighter. You can see already the intent to bob and weave.
This is a catchweight contest. Ste Nightingale, we understand, looking to move down to flyweight at some point, looking reasonably shredded here though.
A big flyweight
between those divisions. And referee Neil Hall just warning the fighters about keeping those fingers out when they pour forward to find their distance. Celiva 4 wins as a professional against the 1 defeat. Ste Nightingale 3 wins against 1 defeat. All those wins have come here on Full Contact Contender. Nightingale's been a mainstay. The first ever professional fight on Full Contact Contender. Ste Nightingale versus Declan Williams.
Lovely low ankle pick from Celivas. He was so quick in on that leg. Got to defend his neck here. He keeps trying to get to side control. He knows that'll save him. Nightingale doing a good job of re-establishing guard and looking for the neck.
Got to be careful here, does Celiva. Nightingale known for jumping on guillotines like they're going out of fashion.
Celiva's got to find his way to side control to save himself. Nightingale with a good grip here, and he's going to rag him back down. And what was a fantastic ankle pick from Celivas has put him firmly on the back foot here. Oh, lovely sit out. Spins his man all the way around. There's got to be a wrestling background for Celivas because there's some tricky technical wrestling from him. If he can't get that head out on the...
And referee Neil Hall warning Celiva about holding onto the gloves there.
Yeah, Celiva looking to Granby roll, but he's been crucifixed here with that arm caught.
You can grab the wrist and your own glove. Nightingale being warned to target those shots by Neil Hall. Looking for a sharp elbow strike there, and it really is a case of being in the trenches here now for Ste Nightingale.
Oh,
Celiva again with a switch. And as you said, Josh, a definite wrestling background from this man.
Trying to get in on the armbar. I think he's missed the... Well, Celiva's got to be careful not to drive that arm back in. He needs to be hiding that left arm. But yeah, that's a powerful bridge. It can sometimes just take you off guard. You think you've moved to a good position, and a big bridge can so easily upset your posture. Celiva's trying to work his way out of this triangle, knee coming up the middle to make his base wider. Nightingale trying to claw him back in here. Could go omoplata, Celiva, there we go. Celiva's trying to step over, but the cage is actually going to be in his way.
Looking for the omoplata here is Nightingale, probably of more use as a sweep than a submission.
Yeah, Celiva's forced to try and roll out. Nightingale taking top position off it.
Forensic action here at FCC 15. Ste Nightingale and Isaias Celiva putting on a show for the fans.
Really nice exchanges on the ground.
Nightingale now looking to do some damage with big punches, and his fans roar in approval, Josh.
Yeah, he's good ground and pound, good posture. Celivas is trying to tie that arm up and just slow the whole process down. I'm sure if he gets the chance to stand back up, he'll be very explosive in doing so. Right now, double overhooks to just keep the pace down, buy himself a breather. Nightingale driving that forehead in though, making it uncomfortable for him. Looking for the head and arm.
Celiva trying to worm his way out here, but he might have put himself in a precarious position for this head and arm choke, Josh.
Yeah, again, the cage is going to make it a little bit difficult for Nightingale to get the good angle, but he opts to take mount instead. It's a very smart decision for him.
Nightingale looking to posture up here, Josh.
Yeah,
And again, Celiva working his way out.
I mean, big bridge, short legs, it makes it quite easy for him to restore guard from that position. Looking for the heel hook now.
Looking for a heel hook is Celiva. Nightingale trying to bomb his way down. Yeah. He's got the heel hook.
Well, he's got the leg reap.
Oh, and time runs out.
He had the leg reap. He didn't quite secure the knee. I think Nightingale would have been able to turn out of that. So there's definitely some tricky grappling in the background of Celivas, but Nightingale wise to a lot of it. Some good counters and some good grappling himself, particularly that omoplata sweep was lovely.
I mean, Josh, as you say, we can instantly tell that Isaias Celiva is not a guy who's had 5 MMA fights and nothing else. No, this guy obviously has some kind of grappling background, and that's worked really well for him in a couple of precarious positions he's found himself in. But Ste Nightingale has been the one really sort of turning it up in terms of offense. He's landed some good shots from that top position. He's gone for a couple of submissions and he's been able to transition well, but still you get the sense, and as we see the replay here of that late heel hook attempt, you get the sense, Josh, it's a very open fight.
Yeah, I think it certainly could be. I mean, I've got to say, the ankle pick from Celivas to initially try and take the fight to the ground was stunning. I mean, he covered his distance so well. He got right in below the shin with his, below the kneecap with his shoulder on the shin. It was phenomenal. The sit out was great. I mean, yeah, you can just tell there is a wrestling background to Celivas.
Seconds out, round 2, a touch of the gloves, and we're underway. Brad Wharton and Josh Palmer calling the action here at FCC 15. Live cage side at Bolton's Macron Stadium. Ste Nightingale looking to establish control of the center of the cage. Isaias Celiva. Are we going to see a takedown from the clearly talented and experienced grappler?
I was going to say, let's see how long this one stays on the feet. Let's see if Nightingale opens up on the feet a little bit more as well. He's got that reach advantage.
Nice right hands there.
Oh,
there was the
sprawl.
shot, but a great sprawl by Ste Nightingale.
Yeah, his hips were coming down so fast as Celivas came forward, and Celivas is going to have to maybe try and wrap that arm and roll or sit out. And there he goes, pulling guard. But we know how heavy Nightingale can be in this position. You know, particularly with his ground and pound as well. We saw it in the first round.
And by his own admission, Josh, Ste Nightingale can occasionally be a slow starter. He sometimes needs a couple of shots or a torrid round to get himself going.
Oh, he's looking for a leg lock of himself. You could see he pulled the kneecap back in, going for a toe hold here, actually. He's got that grip on the toes. Let's see if he switches it.
Both these men clearly very, very grappling savvy.
You can see again, look how close he gets his hips and how low he gets his base over the top. It's very good posture to make it uncomfortable for Celivas. And at any point, he's got the option to fall back for the leg again.
Good work here from Ste Nightingale. Let's see if the man from Reps MMA can pull something out of his bag of tricks. We've seen him snatch some crazy submissions here at FCC in the past.
Oh, good. Drives that knee through. Celivas restoring guard, the shorter legs, going to make it easy for him to do so.
Oh, big elbow there from Ste Nightingale.
I mean, it's interesting, Nightingale was just allowing the feet on the hips and riding out the balance. Great proprioception from him.
And the fans here at the Macron very much getting into this fight, willing Ste Nightingale on.
Yeah, let's see if he can actually pass the guard, secure a bit more of a dominant position. I don't necessarily think he needs to. Oh, well, there we go, straight to mount, but again, the knee just restoring guard. Good leg pummeling from Celivas there.
Josh, with the international fighters this evening, they've certainly not been here to make up the numbers. They've not done that journey for nothing. As we said, Isaias Celiva's teammate Paco Estevez caused a bit of an upset here earlier on with the defeat of a hometown favourite. Celiva himself perhaps not doing quite as well at this juncture, but certainly very much in the fight here against Ste Nightingale.
He is, but he's got to get some form of offense off from this guard position. Feet are on the hips, he can push away and try and create some angles. But there's a lot of top pressure from the bigger man coming forward. And I wonder if a few deep breaths from Celiva there.
But again, scrambling for position. He's certainly not capitulating.
No, and in fairness to him, this is the right type of guard game for his physical stature. I mean, shorter body, shorter legs. You know, this, you see how easy he can just wriggle and shrimp his hips out and pull the knees back through to restore butterfly guard. It's an easy, good guard game for someone with those short legs to play. Unfortunately, to actually put the sweeps into effect, you need to be able to sit up, use momentum, pull your opponent back and start getting the hooks working. And in this position, they're pretty much redundant.
Some real venom in the shots there from Nightingale, and you wonder if he's perhaps getting a little bit frustrated at this point that he's not been able to put Isaias Celiva away. It has to be said, Celiva does look more like a wrestler than a submission artist, Josh. He's probably not going to be in a massive amount of danger from the jiu-jitsu game of Celiva, but we did see him go for a leg lock earlier on, with that being said.
Yeah, he's just been a little bit overwhelmed in this round, though. Once that shot was sprawled, just constant top pressure from Nightingale. And, you know, he's changing his base all the time. He's staying very heavy. He's throwing good ground and pound him. You know, it's going to be hard for Celiva to improve from that position. So his key in the third round is don't be there.
You would have to think at this point, Josh, Isaias Celiva, he's got to get top position. He's got to get that takedown, and he has to get it early. He needs a round in which he's not only going to do a lot of damage, he has to get the finish. That's the only option here. He doesn't look like the kind of guy who's here to make up the numbers, so let's see what Isaias Celiva comes out with in this third and final frame. Ste Nightingale, he's ahead on points. He can't get careless at this point in the fight, Josh.
No, I mean, but the thing is, we haven't seen Celiva with a top position yet. You know, his first takedown was excellent, but he was defending his neck so much that it allowed Nightingale to restore his guard, get his body back in alignment. You know, from that point on, yeah, he had some good scrambles, but the grappling is really all actually Nightingale.
Third and final round about to get underway. Referee Neil Hall calls for the start. A nice show of respect between these two fighters. Ste Nightingale in the black with red trim. Isaias Celiva also in the black with red trim. Nightingale, the taller and rangier of the two fighters. Celiva perhaps with the traditional wrestling advantage. Nightingale, though, a great submission artist in his own right, and a fearsome striker when he wants to be.
Well, I'm curious to see if he keeps it standing. I mean, it wasn't his choice to take it to the floor, but, you know, he did a great job once it was there. So let's see if he tries to insert a bit more dominance on the feet, standing as well.
Nightingale, a coach and training partner of Martin Jordan Chester, two young men with very bright futures in this sport themselves. And he's got in his corner a former FCC amateur lightweight champion, a UFC veteran, and a UK MMF amateur bronze medalist. A fearsome squad at Reps MMA. And they say iron sharpens iron, not technically true, but the adage stands.
Celiva looking to try and find an opening again, clearly. I mean, he's going to need so much more speed to cover the distance. And I just don't know if he's got it in this third round. Good leg attack from him there, though.
Well, you have to respect and give credit to Isaias Celiva. I mean, this is a young man's game, Josh, and we were forgiven for thinking Isaias Celiva was perhaps the father of one of the fighters when he turned up to the weigh-ins yesterday. But this guy's in incredible shape, incredibly talented, and certainly game. He's come all this way.
Yeah, and he's thrown 2 good inside leg kicks there that have caught Nightingale off balance.
Oh, nice couple of hooks there from Isaias Celiva. Nothing too stinging on them, but keeping Nightingale honest.
And that's the kind of movement he needs, you know, ducking in, covering the distance. And that bobbing kind of drop of the head will, you know, disguise whether it's a level change for a shot or whether it's a level change to throw a big overhand right.
Nightingale looking to back his man into the corner there. You know, we mentioned it earlier, Josh. Nightingale often does his best work when he's just been stung by a punch or a big takedown. He'll spring into action. He's been in control for most of this fight, and he's managed to keep a very steady, composed pace. Racking up the points here is the man from Reps MMA, comfortably ahead on the scorecard. Looking to get some cage time in this just his 5th professional contest. 3-1 so far. He has boxed as well and grappled extensively. Celiva looking for that single leg takedown. Clasps the hands, drives his man into the fence.
Let's see if he can do something. I'm sure that Nightingale's going to look for this guillotine again. Trying to sneak those hands back together inside.
Looking for the neck is Nightingale. And his fans roaring approval, just uses it to rag his man down.
Yeah, it's good use of that guillotine. Looking for the
Peruvian neck tie by Ste Nightingale. What an unbelievable finish this would be. Neil Hall taking a close look.
He's got to drive that right leg to the ground as hard as he can. Oh, just slips out.
Celiva slips out and looks to unload, and what a finish that would have been, Josh.
Certainly would have been. Looking for the neck again now.
An incredible burst of action there from Ste Nightingale. He's left on bottom position now, but he looks more than comfortable as Isaias Celiva tries to do something with the dying moments of this fight. He's going to need something huge here.
Well,
looks to throw down punches through the guard.
Looking to throw the legs to the side, some big shots. But just wonder if there's any time left for him. So some good shots again. But I don't think there's enough time for him to do the real damage that he needs. He's got to get past this guard somehow, and Nightingale has shown some excellent guard retention from Butterfly. Looking for the Kimura now.
Incredibly keen would be a reasonable way to describe Isaias Celiva. He hasn't stopped.
Yeah, and you can tell a couple of deep breaths.
Final seconds of the round. It's all over. And what a gutsy performance from Isaias Celiva. Ste Nightingale really did throw pretty much everything in the toolkit at this fighter, and credit to the guy, Josh, he took it all. Nightingale held back to his feet by his corner team. An exhausting performance from the man from Reps MMA. The result shouldn't really be in doubt, but both these men will have a lot to take away from this contest, Josh.
Fighters to center, please. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear for these two fantastic warriors this evening. And after 3 hard-fought rounds, we go to our judges this evening with a unanimous decision. Your winner in the red corner, Ste the Nightmare Nightingale. And let's hear for his opponent. Let's hear it for Isaias Celiva.